In the quiet suburbs of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Walter White lived a life so unremarkable that even his dreams seemed to fade before they could take root. A high school chemistry teacher in his early 50s, Walter once harbored ambitions of scientific greatness. Decades earlier, he co-founded a company called Gray Matter Technologies, a venture brimming with potential. But for reasons even Walter struggled to articulate, pride, fear, or simply bad timing, he sold his shares for a paltry $5,000. The company later flourished into a multi-billion-dollar empire, leaving Walter with nothing but regret. By the time we meet him, Walter's life is a routine of mediocrity. He teaches disinterested teenagers by day and works at a car wash by night to supplement his meager income. His wife, Skylar, is pregnant with their second child, while their teenage son, Walter Jr., navigates life with cerebral palsy. Every aspect of Walter's existence is tinged with quiet despair. The crushing weight of financial instability and unfulfilled potential gnaws at him, but he wears his resignation like a cloak, blending seamlessly into his uninspiring surroundings. The diagnosis: catalyst for chaos. The facade crumbles one day when Walter collapses at the car wash. A doctor's visit reveals the unthinkable: terminal lung cancer, stage 3. The diagnosis is as cruel as it is ironic. Walter, a man who never smoked, is now condemned to a death he cannot afford. His prognosis is grim, 2 years at best. The realization of his impending death sharpens his perspective. What will he leave behind for his family? A mountain of debt, an unborn child, and a son who relies on him? The thought is unbearable. In the midst of this turmoil, a chance encounter sets his life on an unalterable path. Walter's brother-in-law, Hank Schrader, a boisterous DEA agent, invites him on a ride-along to a methamphetamine bust. As Walter watches from the sidelines, he spots a familiar face fleeing the scene: Jesse Pinkman, a former student. Jesse's involvement in the drug trade becomes the seed of an audacious idea. For the first time in years, Walter's mind ignites with purpose. The partnership: chemistry meets chaos. Walter tracks Jesse down and proposes a partnership. Using his unparalleled expertise in chemistry, Walter offers to create a product that will dominate the market. Jesse, skeptical of his old teacher's intentions, reluctantly agrees. Their first cook takes place in a decrepit RV parked in the middle of the desert. The result is a crystal-clear, blue-tinted methamphetamine of unparalleled purity, a product so flawless it instantly commands a premium in the underworld. But producing the meth is only half the battle. Walter quickly learns that the drug trade is a world governed by violence and betrayal. Early confrontations with small-time dealers like Crazy 8 and Tuco Salamanca push Walter into situations where his intelligence becomes his weapon. Killing becomes a necessity, a grim task Walter rationalizes as protecting his family. Each act of violence chips away at the man he once was, forging a new identity: Heisenberg. The empire grows. As demand for the blue meth skyrockets, Walter and Jesse's operation grows. Their success attracts the attention of Gus Fring, a meticulous and calculating drug lord who operates under the guise of running a fried chicken franchise. Gus offers Walter an opportunity to scale his operation, providing him with a state-of-the-art lab and a network of distribution channels. For a time, Walter thrives under Gus's system. He earns millions, builds a reputation as a genius chemist, and even begins to see himself as indispensable. Yet, Walter's pride refuses to let him be subordinate. He bristles under Gus's authority, and tensions between them mount. When Gus begins to view Walter as a liability, Walter takes preemptive action. In a masterstroke of cunning, he orchestrates Gus's death using a wheelchair-rigged bomb. The explosion marks Walter's full emergence as a drug kingpin. The personal cost. While Walter's empire grows, his personal life deteriorates. Skylar, initially complicit in laundering his drug money, becomes increasingly horrified by the man her husband is becoming. She distances herself, taking their children and leaving Walter to his empire. Walter Jr., oblivious to his father's crimes, remains a source of heartbreaking innocence in Walter's darkening world. Meanwhile, Jesse, burdened by guilt and trauma, begins to unravel. Walter manipulates Jesse's vulnerabilities to keep him under control, driving a wedge between them. Their partnership devolves into a toxic cycle of betrayal and resentment. Walter's hubris blinds him to the damage he's inflicted on those closest to him. The fall. Walter's reign begins to crumble as the DEA closes in. Hank discovers Walter's double life, setting off a chain of events that leads to Hank's tragic death. Jesse, now fully disillusioned, turns informant, aiding the DEA in their pursuit of Walter. Betrayed and hunted, Walter's empire collapses. He retreats to a secluded cabin in the wilderness, living in isolation as his health deteriorates. But Walter cannot let his story end in obscurity. In a final act of defiance, he returns to Albuquerque, determined to settle scores and secure his legacy. He confronts a group of neo-Nazis holding Jesse captive, using his engineering brilliance to rig an automated machine gun. The showdown leaves Walter mortally wounded, but he ensures Jesse's freedom and the destruction of his enemies. The legacy of Heisenberg. Walter dies in the meth lab, surrounded by the equipment that once symbolized his genius and ambition. His journey is one of transformation, from a meek teacher to a feared drug lord, from a man driven by desperation to one consumed by power. In the end, Walter achieves his goal of leaving money for his family, but at an unimaginable cost: his soul, his relationships, and his humanity. Empire of Dust is a cautionary tale of ambition and pride. Walter White's descent into darkness serves as a reminder that even the noblest intentions can lead to ruin when compromised by ego and greed. His story is not just about the empire he built, but the devastating price he paid to build it. The end. Thank you for watching. Dive into the world of English stories and watch your language skills improve. Happy learning! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell ** to stay updated with our latest videos on how to learn English effectively. Share your thoughts and progress in the comments below, we'd love to hear from you.